Shalom, shalom, family. I'd like to thank you for tuning in for another broadcast of Black and Healthy, Restoring Black America here on YouTube and also broadcasting on the Country Living in the City page on Facebook. I am your host, Jawanda Smith, RN Case Manager and Patient Advocate. And today is the second part in the hypertension video talking about the slave diet, hypertension, and the Black community. I have put together a short presentation for you guys, um, just with some statistics of what's going on in the health of our community. And I will also come back after the presentation to give you resources on getting help to get your blood pressure under control. So sit back and relax, and here I will share my screen for the short presentation. Statistics affecting the Black community. The death rate for Black Americans has declined about 25% over 17 years, primarily for those aged 65 and older. New analysis shows that younger Black Americans are living with or dying of many conditions typically found in white Americans at older ages. Black Americans ages 18 to 49 are 2 times as likely to die from heart disease than whites. Black Americans ages 35 to 64 years are 50% more likely to have high blood pressure than whites. This chart from Vital Statistics on the CDC website shows that Black Americans lead in every demographic age group in cardiovascular diseases such as stroke, endocrine diseases such as diabetes, and of course high blood pressure, which leads to many diseases such as heart attack, stroke, um, congestive heart failure, a coronary artery disease, COPD, and end-stage renal disease. We, as a community of Black people, are failing in health. So now let's take a look at dietary factors and high blood pressure in the Black community. Are we still eating the slave diet?
Our greatest gift I can give to my kids is the gift of knowledge, the gift of health. So in that way, I can transform their epigene, that trigger, that light switch, that trigger that's going to determine do they have to have disease or not. This does not have to be your story. And it's not to tell you that you're going to live forever, that there's never going to be the end. There's a beginning and an end, but the question is, how are those final chapters going to be written in your book?
Slave food is food that was refused by those in power. It's the stuff nobody else wanted, but the slave then had to figure out a way to make taste good and to try and sustain life on.
It's the manipulation of nutrition for profit and for power.
Slave food is really about answering that really quintessential question. Why do Black people in America die sicker and sooner than everyone else?
The most common habit really is processed food, of eating food. They use food essentially as a way of de-stressing, of anti-anxiety or antidepressants. How food is really now used in order to kind of medicate to get a sense of feeling better.
So, I mean, it's well documented that The majority of diseases that people of color suffer from are directly related to what they eat. Right? We know that. So, on the converse, we can combat them by what we eat.
Every 7 minutes, there's a premature death. Pretty staggering. It's overwhelming that we are dying sicker and sooner than everyone else at these rates.
Why does this happen? From the idea of stress, it can be life stressors, but also the idea really about this unique idea of racial discriminatory stress that plays an impactful role in the manifestation of disease.
Stress is powerful because stress is something you feel on a very 30,000 foot level, like an airplane up in the sky, but it manifests itself on a cellular level. So you feel it macroscopically, but it actually manifests microscopically. But food is important because food is the only way you can actually reverse that stress.
In terms of the African American experience and African American community, really it dates back to the origin, Western Africa, and that surge on over into Americas, inside the Caribbean, inside of South America, that middle passage that was there where food had to be rationed. Food was a method of power. Slave food that's been processed, chemically modified in order to get the greatest bliss point or engagement.
The food swamp is flooding our neighborhoods with calories. That's really the swamp. It's a swamp of nutrient poor, calorie dense, low cost foods in areas where people don't make a lot of money. So you go into poor neighborhoods and there's no grocery store, no real grocery store that's clean and the produce is fresh and it's replaced on a very regular basis. Everything we eat, every time we eat, is an investment in our longevity, in our health. It either is making you healthier or it's making you sicker.
African Americans, globally, specifically in the United States, have this sense that my mom had it, my dad had it. I'm not going to live to a certain age. I'm going to get diabetes. I'm going to have a stroke. I'm going to have it. And so it's destiny. And what I want folks to know is that it's not destiny. Your DNA is not your destiny.
So I hope you enjoyed that short presentation that I put together for you. Just to give you some more information, I'll be posting information from the CDC, the statistic on our community that they've been tracking for about 20 years now. Also, there's information from the American Heart Association. If you would like to know more information about what the proper diet and how much salt and Black Americans should take in per day. Because in the previous video, I talked to you guys about our salt sensitivity, that African Americans, they found a gene that makes us extra sensitive to salt. And that's why most Black Americans, when we are hypertensive, we retain water. And the best regimen will to release some of that water out of the body is to take diuretics. My next video, I will be covering more details about diet, giving you some low salt, low fat recipes. Soul food, though, just cooking it differently and making it taste just as tasty. Okay. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Take care of yourself and each other. Until next time, Shalom.